Back last year, someone I follow on Instagram had posted a picture of Graham's Forge Mill in Wythe County, Virginia. And this is a grist mill. There was a dam and there was some other activities there. And I thought, wow, this is a very interesting building. I need to do a painting of it. So the lady who I follow gave me permission to use her photo and to do a painting of it. And so here is the painting, and it was fun to do. Now all I had was her picture to go off of. I've never been there myself. You can see pictures of it on Street View on Google Earth or Google Maps, and so what is to the right, I kind of had to imagine on my own. I did look at the Google Maps. I saw that there were buildings over there, but how close they are to the grist mill, I'm not sure. But it was still a fun one to do. I'm a little annoyed that the cupola is a little off-centered. The windows at the bottom are actually not off-center. That's where they were in relation to the other windows. But again, it was a fun one to do, and I enjoyed doing it as part of this series. This last one that I did rather recently are the top of the Linville Falls in Burke County, North Carolina. So this is western North Carolina near Asheville. And so we went there several years ago, I think 2014 when we went there. Apparently there's been some damage from Hurricane Helene, so you can't see some of the falls like you used to be able to. So you can see here that, the rushing of the water, and I wanted to capture this scene right here where the two rocks and the water cascading past it to then, of course, go down the falls. Here are some stages for this one. I did this one in watercolor, and watercolor on a tough paper, watercolor paper. So I just started out with some dark color, just getting some dark color down. I had drawn in the two boulders to start, and so the two boulders in the middle plus the kind of the column to the right, and I wanted to keep the top available for greenery because there was some greenery, trees and such on the rocks. So continue adding color, just getting, really is defining those rocks, which for me I thought would take a while with the watercolor. And I had done something similar when I did the Jacoby Trail at Pilot Mountain. If you remember that, that was featured in another video. And same idea, stone. Stone is hard for me to do already, and doing it in watercolor where you can't, you'd be washing it more than layering it like you do with acrylic. So adding more color, getting a little yellow and green into the picture, adding more blue in, bluish gray, and really darkening that area where the water's going to go, because I wanted the water, highlighting the shadows, but also really getting it dark where the water's going to be, because the water will be highlighted with white gouache. I'm just still working on the rocks, getting them to the right consistency. Here you can see starting to add the water, which is white gouache, which is opaque. And that on that black, darker gray surface will really make it pop. I've also added the green up above, where you've got green on the, in the background as well as on the rock there to the right. And continuing to define it till you get really this distinct water and rock appearance. Here's the final of that one. And so again, you got the water rushing through, the activity of rushing water as it goes into the distance. I think it goes another several yards before it actually goes down the waterfall. More definition of the rocks. There's definitely, there's shadowing here, darkness here where you can't really see what's going on here. I think this is still part of this boulder. And then the shadowing here where this boulder is slightly wider than this one. So you've got the darkness here and the darkness here. And of course, you've got this really water sanded surfaces of the rocks here. So to really keep that looking somewhat smooth and, textures, but a smooth texture as the water has been rushing by it for probably hundreds of years. So, and as I was putting the white down, there were little specks of white that came off, and I allowed that because in that rushing of the water, there would be little drops of water everywhere. And so I allowed that water allowed those little specks to just go where they were. I didn't try to get them out, and just all part of the effect. So anyway, those are the Appalachian pictures that I have painted in the last year or two, or 3, and I'll continue working on those and share them as I can. Thanks for watching.